Dear students, today we are going to discuss the question paper related to MA English, Delhi University. Now I am going to discuss this paper of 2019 and this is core paper. Paper number is 120301102 Life, Literature and Culture Part 2 Early Modern World. This is of 70 marks. And I will suggest you to read out these instructions carefully. Write your roll number on the top immediately on receipt of this question paper. Answer question number 1, which is compulsory, and 3 others from 2 to 9. Questions number 1 carries 25, that is 5 into 5. So question number 1 in question 1 is of 5 marks. Make and marks and others carry 15 marks each. Question number 1 is in 9 parts, 5 of which must be attempted. The maximum marks printed on the question paper are applicable for the students of the regular college category A. These marks will, however, be scaled by appropriately in respect of the other students of NC Web at the time of posting of awards of compilation of result. Now question number 1, which is compulsory, we have already read about this. Answer any 5 of the following in about 250 words. So from question number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. These 9 questions you need to write in a short form, and this is what any 5 you have to attempt. And this one question is of 5 marks, so 5 into 5 is 25. And that's how we have to carry this here. It is written 25. So I just read out, and these are the questions of the question number 1. You will find some quotations are there, some name of the characters are there, some simple one statement is there. So in question number 1, if I read, this is in inverted comma. In addition, for a person to be prince, it is not enough to be born to have ancestral status. This scepter and the crown which makes a prince is a mind distinguished for its wisdom, a mind always occupied with the safety of the state and looking to nothing but the common good. So the paper which is there, Life, Literature and Culture, and whatever the syllabus is there, this is from your syllabus. Letter to Relic, Venus and Adonis in Fairy Queen 3. The conversation between Colidor and Meliboe. Sprezzatura or nonchalance. Question number 6 is, but wherefore says she not she is unjust, and wherefore says not that I am old. Oh, love's best habit is in seeming thirst, and age in love loves not to have years too old. How well the skillful gods never do of flowers and herbs this dial knew. I now must change these notes to tragic, foul distrust and a breach disloyal on the part of man. Thus with the year, season return, but not to me returns days, or the sweet approach of even on morn. What now these 9 questions you can write short note, and keeping the mind that this one question will be marked as a 5 mark only. So in this way you can do 5 questions only and you have ample choice. Now question number 2 is, what is the relationship Thomas More's posit between the various existing European commonwealths of his mind and the commonwealths of Utopia? In what ways does Edmund Spencer deploy pastoral effort associated with odium for political ends of or negotium? Now question number 4, if not the only exemplar of chastity in book 3 of the Fairy Queen, Britomart is undoubtedly its measured champion. Discuss. What is the nature of skeptical thought that Michael D. Montague celebrates in Apology for Raymond Sebon? So these, out of these 2, 3, 4, 5, these 4 questions are there, and you need to attempt only 3. And actually in this question there are 3 more questions are there, so which we couldn't take photo, but anyway you can, because this 5 and 6, 7, 8, 3 more questions will be there in this question, and you need to attempt only 3. So in all you have to do only 4 questions. right? And then I come to the this is core paper, and the paper number you remember, this is MA semester 1, and this is core paper at 2019 120301101 life literature and culture medieval literature. This is of new course, and again this question number 1 is there, 250 words each, and again you find that 9 questions are there, and you have to do only 5 out of this. And I read this idea of love in the lace of Mary de France, Bertie Lot. Then we are made the hand tamid with the dice gentler man. We will now then knee flight, fig not cried, bout how done as tied, and cast time in canvas. Lady Midi, a fair field of fog found I there between, of all manner of man, the meany and the richie. The second shepherd in the second shepherd's play, and then Gill, Historia Calamitatum in Abelard and Aloysius. So these 9 questions, out of these 9 questions, you just have to do 5 only, and I hope you are understanding it. And now you can see the proper question 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So in this, out of these almost 8 questions, you just need to do only 3. Okay, so let's go. Discuss representation of masculinity in medieval satire with close reference to the nun's priest tale. Discuss the significance of human agency in second Shepherd's play. Discuss the relationship between the secular and non-secular element in the second Shepherd's play. Discuss how the medium of dream allegory helped legend explore ideas of love and chastity in the Piers Plowman. Andrea Capellanus' De Amore is not only a book about love but a secret document about civilization. Discuss the book of Marguerite Camp as an example of life writing. The bestiary and the best fable occupy in an important space is medieval narrative. Dream, vision and allegory are some of the means by which the medieval poets and mystics organized ordinary experience of the world. Discuss with reference at least to a text in the paper. So if you see this question, there is a magic I am trying to tell you. See, these 2 to 9 questions are, one question is of Andrea de Capellanus, one question is of Marguerite Camp, one question is of second Shepherd's play, one question is of Piers Plowman, and then one question of nun's priest tale, and this is so if you see every text which is there in your syllabus of this paper, medieval literature, you will find that every single text is having one major question. But if you see smartly, the same one text is having also a minor question. So when you are preparing one major text, you can actually attempt one major and one minor question. So if you are preparing one text properly, you are entitled to attempt 2 questions. Okay, so if I say, see, in this Piers Plowman, you will find that in the second shepherd, discuss the significance of human agency in second shepherd's play, and then discuss the relationship between secular and non-secular element in the second shepherd's play. So in a way, question number 3 and 4 are from the same text, and you will find at least 2 questions are there from this second shepherd also. So if you are preparing one text like the second shepherd's play, then you are able to do question number 3, question number 4 and any 2 minor questions. So in a way, you can be smart enough to understand that how you can attempt this major question and minor question by preparing one proper text. So in this way, it is very significant for you to understand and read out the questions. If you are reading out the questions, it would definitely help you a lot. Okay, so now let me come to the this question again. This is paper English and Shakespeare, and it is also 2019. I am just reading out the questions because our concern is to just find out what kind of questions we are having And in this video, I'm not solving the question. I'm just giving you, I'm just presenting a picture before you. It's a objective presentation of the question paper, that these kind will be the questions, and by looking at these questions you can actually understand what kind of questions are there. Okay, so let me read out this question again, and this is what: answer any 5 of the following in about 250 words. Question number 1: I should sin to think but nobly in my grandmother. Good wombs have borne bad sons. Take physique pomp, expose thyself to feel that wretched feel, that thou mist shake the superflux to them, and show the heaven more just. Then psychorax, and all of the nothing for he Cuba. What's he Cuba to him, or he to her, that he should be for her? Love looks not with the eyes but with the mind, and therefore is winged. Cupid painted blind, nor hath love's mind of any judgment taste. Wings and no idea, figure unheedy taste. Down from the waist they are centaurs, thou woman all above, but to the griddle, to the gods inherit beneath is all the friends. Theseus, there with fantastic garland did she make of crow flowers, needles, diaries, and long purples, that liberal shepherds give a gross name, but our cold maid do dead men's finger call them. And then 9 is, it is a rare life that remain orderly even in private. And then Athens the city, question number 2 is, Athens the city of wisdom, and order is contracted with the woods as a place of disorder and license in Midsummer Night's Dream. Elaborate. Write a critical essay on the significance of the closet scene in Hamlet. The most shattering tragedy asks us to contemplate with wonder the gap between the height of nobility which man can reach and the depth of his depravity and misery. Is this an accurate description of the play Hamlet? Give a reasoned answer. Speak what we feel, not what we ought to say. Write a critical essay on the importance of feeling or emotion in the tragedy King Lear. Write a critical essay on the use of the double plotting King Lear. Write a critical essay on the relationship between magic power and banishment in the Tempest. Write a critical essay on the depiction of the madness and role that it performed in any 2 plays which is prescribed in your syllabus. So you see, there is in question number 8, you have a complete choice of writing including any of your text. So question number 8 always gives you liberty. Like this, if you see, dream, vision and allegory are some of the means by which medieval poets and mystics organized ordinary experience of the world. Discuss with reference to at least 2 texts in your paper. So any 2 texts you are free to discuss. See, when you are confused of, particularly suppose you haven't prepared very well the book of Marguerite Camp or Andrea Capellanus or any of this, for example, the Second Shepherd's Play. If you haven't done any text properly, then this is a question. In here, question number 9 gives you liberty to choose any of your 2 texts, and here in question number 8 you have a liberty to choose any of the 2 texts. So this question number 8 is always a saving. It's a kind of it will help you to choose any of the text, and then you can attempt your question very well. Again here in the same thing, and I'm just stopping this for a while so you can read out. And this is also question number 1 again. In these deep solitude and awful cells where heavenly pensive contemplation dwells, Imal, then are you mad? If you value me life, do not think of taking you on. I am beset with company and can neither speak nor write to you until tomorrow. Authors, men of letters, philosophers never cease proclaiming that to fulfill your duties as a citizen, to serve your fellow creatures, you have to live in the great cities. To them, to flee Paris is to hate the human race. The people of the countryside are not in their eyes. To hear them One would believe that men are found only where there are pensions, academics, and dinners. Oh, poor cousin, if only the best glimmer that the Baron de Staines should consent to give his daughter, his only child, to a pretty bourgeois without fortune. Do you expect that? What then do you expect? What do you want? Poor cousin. The muses are turned gossips, they have lost their buskin step, the clear, high sounding face, language of the gods. Eudora, man, mean as I was, and little grace with power of eloquence even in my native speech, and all unfit their tumult and intrigue, you would I willingly have taken up as service at this time for cause so great, however dangerous. Or I would record how in tyrannic time some unknown man, unheard of in the chronic of the king, suffered in silence for the love of him. Now question number 2 to 8 again, try to understand. How is the question of autonomy of women addressed by Alexander Pope and Samuel Johnson in Eloisa to Abelard and Rassillas respectively? Great critics must have theatres and corrupt people novels critically examine how the opening line of the first refers to Julie is meant to orient the reader's approach to the text. In Julie, the letter number 6 and 7 exchange between Julie and her cousin Claire respectively enable a different perspective in the relationship between Julie and Saint Preux. Do you agree? Give a reasoned answer. Critically commenting the construction of 18th century domesticity with the reference to any of the women poets prescribed in your course. How do women poets critique violence on both home and abroad in their poem? Discuss with a reference to the women poets prescribed in your course. Wordsworth's new form of epic, the prelude, rests on its conscious revolution of the traditional understanding of political life as the locus of nobility. Discuss. Wordsworth turns his poetic weakness into his poetic strength. How far this view acceptable regarding the prelude? Discuss in detail. So again, this is paper 2022, and it is of the poetry. And again, this is what. So these are the questions related to 2022. And if you are reading, because I'm just stopping it for a while so you can write it down. You can actually note down the question, the whole question paper you can note down. You can take a screenshot also. So that's what we are trying to understand. So I'm reading this paper again. Bittersweet Eros, Imagism, the 60s counterculture, causes and effect relationship in Henry Vaughan's poetry, religious motif in the poetry of Rabindranath Tagore, Mariner's guilt in Coleridge's rhyme of an ancient mariner, and reference to Jason, the wife of the usurer's well, ocean and littoral imagine break, Hussein's martyrdom in the Battle of Karbala. T.E. Hood and Bob Dylan nurtured similar modernist anxieties and concerns, but their response are different. Comment. Robert Burns' lyric depicts a productive tension between sensuality and contentment discussed with textual evidence. Do you think that there is an interface between faith and poetry? In meditative poetry, sustainable your argument with the reference from prescribed poem. Critically comment on the meditative tropes in the poem of Hawkins. Substantiate your answer with the reference from the windover and the candle indoor. Can we read Goethe's The Earthquake as a good example of the uncanny or the return of the repressed? Substantiate your answer with suitable example from the Barrett. Discuss how while modernizing some of the crops of pastoral elegy. Auden also utilized the form of elegy to both condemn and appreciate deeds. How is the poet's death mount in the elegy? How do elegies address the ritualistic tradition associated with funeral rites? Comment with the reference to at least 2 points prescribed in your syllabus. Then this is paper number, it's a core paper and a long 19th century. So semester 3, and this is for the final year. And the question I am just reading. So the legend of Saint Teresa in Middlemarch, Tertius litigate, Gauri in Anandamath, Flash evening in Anandamath, Angela in the eves of St. Agus, and of these one and all I wave the song of myself. Dr. Ranke Confession of Love for Nora, the motif of the Tarantella dance in a doll's house, Harriet Taylor Mill's argument for voting right for women. I mean, marriage drinks up all our power of giving or getting any blessedness in that sort of love. I know it may be very dear, but it murders our marriage, and then marriage stays with us like a murder, and everything else is gone. Discuss this with reference to the idea of marriage in Middlemarch. Evaluate the narrator of Middlemarch. Write a critical essay on the conflict zone reflects through Anandamath. Critically examine Anandamath as a mirror of society. In White Men's Songs of Myself, here is a strong sense of celebrating the possibilities of the new nation. Analyze the implications of these celebrations of America in the poem. And then this is 22 again, gender elective. So straight man and straight woman, replacing he with person. Augie, a joint came from again, and Nick took a series pull on it. Then he got up and went to the open window to look out at the damp steely night, the great beseech beyond and longshore in grey. Sail out again the first wake parling of the sky. It was a beautiful effect, so much bigger than the pity. That childhood myth of Islam, feminism. Well, she's long about her coming, who must be more merciless to herself than history. Her mind full to the wind, I see her plunge, breast center, glancing through the current, taking the light upon her, at least as beautiful as any boy or helicopter. I am the scar of the wound that in my mouth with mother's body burned. I am the shame she nursed within. Before dawn, my mother rises, and in this room without a mirror, in this room where we will sleep together, she turns away from the windows, her glass bangle pushed up away from her wrist, so they are motionless on harm, soundless in the darkness. She finds her sari. Question number 2. Do you agree that society with LGBT person and LGBT persons with society without society is the perennial paradox explored in Orlando? Give a reasoned answer. Analytically discuss the significance of literary allusion in the 3 parts, the line of beauty. Hollinger's character are a constant reminder of the fact that different sexual identities and practices offer a privileged position from which a conduct or truly radical sexual politics. Do you agree? Give a reasoned answer. Men just can't relate to how difficult it is to be women. Critically analyze the statement in the light of Nafisi's reading Lolita in Tehran. Burma's men just can't relate to how difficult it is to be a woman. Critically analyze the statement in the light of Nafisi's reading Lolita in Tehran. Bama's Karuke in a critique of the caste-ridden politics of the church in India. Do you agree? Give a reasoned answer. Critically analyze the breaking of silence and taboos about women's bodies and women's sexuality in poetry of Kamala Das and Sujata Bhatt. Write an essay on the politics of language in the work of women poets with the answer with a reference to at least 3 of the poets taught in this paper. So like again you will see this question number 8. It talks about any 3 poets and you are free to choose that. In this also question, here also we missed 2 questions actually. So I think there are some of the questions where we could not find, could not include, last two questions. That's because of the picture. We missed the picture in this question also. 6, 7, 8, 3 questions are missing here. But anyway, through these readings, you can actually understand what kind of questions are there. So while moving this, you can simply see, you can actually see if this is a paper, so you can take screenshot, or you can actually read out again, write it down, and then again these are the 5 questions, 9 questions. You can write down, take a screenshot. Again from 2 to 9, you can just see them, write down, take a screenshot. So these are the questions which you won't find anywhere, and I'm trying to provide you. So just see, read them, and you can understand what is the nature of the questions, how the questions are coming, and what is that short note, short questions, long questions, and the nature of the question, how any text is having particular question. So from this 1 to 9 here, and then 2 to 8, so you can write down the questions also.